Hello, hello, my name is Emerine, and today I'm going to be spinning some yarn inspired by the Saja boy himself, Abby from Kpop Demon Hunters. Although he's not my favorite Saja boy, he is the most colorful so far, and I'm also going to be sharing a bit of what's happening over the last year and a half, and I'm going to be fairly vague, but if heavy topics aren't your cup of tea, then you can skip to this timestamp, or you can just watch my part 2 of my Kpop Demon Hunter yarn series, because it's just going to be ASMR of me spinning this Abby yarn, as well as some footage from my Genu and Derpy yarns. And the yarn for the Huntrix girls will be coming out in part 3. I'm going to go over some of the details during this spin about the yarn, but I basically am going to be taking this wool floof and following Abby's colors from head to toe, meaning that I'm going to follow the colors of his beanie and his hair down to his shirt, jeans, and the shoes in the Soda Pop performance, and I'm going to then do the exact same thing but in reverse, so that later on when I take this one long single strand, I'll spin the two ends together so that we'll get a stronger and fluffier yarn for the end product, but all of the colors will stay next to each other more or less. And I'm planning on explaining more about spinning in future videos, so if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and subscribe to find my videos when I post them. And without further ado, I will give the stage to Past Me. Hey everybody, so I'm gonna start spinning some wool. Like I said, I'm spinning some wool for a yarn inspired by Abby from Kpop Demon Hunters, mostly because he just has a lot of colors in his outfit, and I think that would be more interesting to look at for you guys watching. And so I'm just gonna start spinning in an S twist, and we're just going to start talking a little bit about where I've been and all that jazz. And we're gonna start fixing some mistakes too. So I have not posted a video on YouTube in over a year, and that is mostly because I ended up needing to get a job to pay rent, all that fun stuff. And it was more physically exhausting than I was expecting it to be. And the physical also kind of paired with mental, because it was very like customer service heavy. And so just having to like be on and smiley and polite and those types of things were just really taxing. And so I didn't really have the energy to want to sit down and make videos, even though I had a ton of ideas and I would get little spurts of energy every so often, and so I would make something. So I'm hoping that those videos will end up becoming something one day, but it was never enough for me to just like sit down and just make a whole video. And last year, I know 2025 wasn't really anyone's year. A lot of good things happened, but also a lot of bad things happened, and I ended up getting really depressed, and there's just a lot going on in my head. And thankfully I like reached out and I got some help, and I had a really great support system. But one of the things that honestly helped me to make some bigger changes, because I was able to make some smaller ones, but to make like the big ones, honestly it was due to the Kpop Demon Hunter movie. The first time I watched it, it was just like a fun movie that I watched with my friends, but as I was listening to the lyrics and reading the lyrics and just really reflecting, I was really trying to reflect on how I could get out of the slump that I was in, and it helped me in a couple of different ways, helped me to realize that there was some things that I had been holding on to that I was just like shaming and guilting myself over. And I knew that, but it was really hard to figure out how to get over that other than just confronting the people involved. And so even though it was really scary, and even though it was really hard to do, and it was very humbling, I'm very thankful because there was a guilt and a weight that I had been holding on to for almost a decade that was resolved. And over the next like week or two, I cannot believe how light I felt. And that doesn't change the fact that those events happened and that those things happened. But it changed how I saw myself. It changed this feeling of guilt, and so every time I listen to the soundtrack or I watch the movie, because it is on repeat in my house all the time, every time I think about that, it helps me know that I can confront things, that I can do really hard things, and that it's not too late, that I can do better. And now you can see that there's a little bit of pink coming in. Going back to the yarn for a second, the yellow that I started off with was Abby's beanie, and then now we're going into his hair color. And so there's lots of different ways that you can like add on bits of wool, but this is just how I'm trying to do it. And I actually have two different hot pinks in here, but I'm trying to spin them at the same time so that they'll be mixed in and can't really tell. And I'm spinning a mix of like just American, like just general wool, like sheep's wool, and some merino. So it's all wool. It's not 100% merino, so it's not gonna be like the softest thing in the world. But how I'm spinning this is actually from like the top down. So we're gonna have like a beanie section. This is his hair. Coming up next is going to be his shirt. So it's going to be mostly like teal with a whole bunch of the Hawaiian flower colors mixed in, and it's going to be really, really pretty. My plan is to, once I get all the way down to his shoes, then I'm just going to go from the bottom up. So then we're going to do his shoe color again. We're going to do his jeans color again, his shirt, his hair, his hat. And then I'm going to spin it or wind it into a 2-stranded cake. So then I can just pull from both ends, and then we'll get one yarn that is going from head to toe. And I think, because I spun Ginu's yarn the same way from head to toe and then from toe to head, and I think that they would look really cool in like a scarf or something that's very linear, just so then you can appreciate the colors and you can see the color work. But I'm going to grab the shirt colors real quick before we move on. Okay, I'm back. So I have, this is the base. It's not exactly the color, but I'm gonna be doing both of these at the same time, and then I have all of these fun colors that I'm going to just kind of pick from randomly, and then I'm going to try to get all of this into this. Yeah, so we're going to see how it goes. I've done kind of variations of this technique, but it's not the ideal way to spin something this multicolored. There's definitely more preferred or like easier, quote unquote easier methods, but This is how I'm choosing to go about it, and I'm trying to spin this at a like kind of thin to like kind of thick weight, just so then I can make it something that is a little bit more lengthy for you guys to use, or for whoever gets this yarn. So you can see the striping a little bit in there. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so we're just going to continue doing this, and then I'm just going to grab a chunk, and it's okay if it's a big chunk. I'm going to lay it in there, and then I'm going to fold it over, and that's going to help it be incorporated a little bit better. And so now we're getting some of the green. Now we're getting pinks. All right, we got a whole bunch of green, that's great. And because I have all these different colors, and it's going to be on both sides of the yarn, because I'm just going to do a 2-ply, meaning I'm just going to take 2 strands and spin them, or like fold them on each other. And so hopefully we'll get a good mix of colors. And if there's little slubs like that, I personally like slubs. I think they're fun because then they make it kind of more squishy. So we're gonna leave those slubs in. So kind of like I was saying, how when I tell people about this movie, about Kpop Demon Hunters, I tell them it's life-changing. And they might not understand why, and they're like, oh wait, really? It's that good? I'm like, no, it literally changed my life. And of course I don't go into the whole like big long story with them right then and there. But it's true. I'm very thankful for everyone who worked on the movie and fought to have these topics talked about, because even if it is talked about a little bit, there's not really tools given, like in the song Free, where they say like basically we have to confront it in order to work on it. And just having the wording be like that, or even in the finale song of like, yeah, I'm broken, yeah, there's a million pieces, yeah, I'm tired, but I'll be by your side, but we'll work on it together. This doesn't change the past, but we can move forward and we can make something better. Just real quick, you can kind of see the pink in there. And so in the song Your Idol, there's lines where it's like, oh, keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed, play me on repeat, and I'm in your head, and I'll be your sanctuary, and I'm the only one who will love your sins. All of this wording, it really is true, because I developed some pretty nasty habits, and just realizing, even if you're not religious, I think you can see this as like negative thoughts, but I see it as, oh, this is what Satan wants. Satan wants me to go to the things in the world for comfort. He wants me to feel stuck in my head. He wants me to feel hopeless. Like, he wants me to feel all of these things. And so I was like, oh, well, I don't want that. And that was kind of one of the big things that helped me to like kind of snap out of it and really want to put in the effort of making changes. And I'm really, really thankful for it. So I'm not gonna blab through this entire yarn making, but I do want to say that I'm making a lot of changes. You are probably going to still see some videos and things in this room or with this background, but I am going to be moving. I'm going to be making a lot of changes, and one of those things is I really want to focus on YouTube. And so I'm not making promises that I'm going to be back to what I used to do of like every week or every other week. I'm just going to take my time and really try to find a healthy balance so then I can still do the things that I love, which right now heavily includes making yarn. So there's going to be a lot of talking and yarn videos. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think, whether it's about the movie, like what you guys took away from the movie, what you liked about it, things that are helping you to move forward and to make changes, or if you have any ideas that you would like me to explore, whether it's illustration, whether it's yarn, whether it's just topics. I'm really curious to see what you guys would be interested in, and I'm just excited for this new chapter, not just 2026, but just new chapter in life, because you never know what's going to happen. Life constantly throws you curveballs. If the last 5 years haven't taught us that, then I don't know what else will. But yeah, I hope that this can be a good reminder for anybody who might need it, that it's okay to start over. It's okay to do hard things. It's okay to confront things in the past. But the important part is to not let things that are dragging you down continue to drag you down. Figure out how you can get rid of it, or how you can lighten the load, whether that's telling somebody, whether that's going to therapy, whether that's getting a new job, whether that's moving to a new place, whether that's deleting an app off of your phone. Like there's so many different things that can bog us down, and there's so many ways that we can help ourselves and also help others. So if you have any tips, I would really love to hear about that. And for the rest of this video is probably just going to be some different angles of me making this Abby yarn, so you guys can see all the fun colors and different angles. And if you've never seen spinning, if you didn't know that this is how yarn was made, then welcome. I'm excited to show this with you. This was one of my happy things that I wasn't expecting that happened last year, and it's really meditative. It's really therapeutic for me. Plus it's fun and it's very satisfying, and so I hope it can help some other people too. But I'm going to quit yapping, and I'm just going to continue spinning this yarn inspired by Abby, one of the most ridiculous characters in one of the most ridiculous movies that helped to change my life moving forward. So enjoy. And that's it for this video. Even though we talked about some hard stuff, I hope you still found this video helpful and soothing. And I'm curious, how would you use this yarn in a project or a craft? Let me know in the comments. And just a reminder that I do have a no talking ASMR video on my channel right now, and it's about an hour of satisfying and calming spinning sounds and visuals from this Abby yarn, as well as some new footage from my Genu and Derby yarns. And I'll have all of my Kpop Demon Hunter yarns for sale on my website after this third part is up, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, please let me know and I'll try to talk about it in a future video. With that, remember to take care of yourself, reach out if you need help, and I'll see you next time. Bye!